And the freedom of mathematics is a flaming sword. It shall be our duty to use it justly. Hold it high, guard it well. Mathcourt, where common sense prevails. Mathcourt, with the Honorable Judge Sandra Day O'Crater presiding.
Order! Order! I will not tolerate another spectacular outburst such as that in my courtroom. You spectators are making spectacles of yourselves, especially those of you wearing eyeglasses. Now, I'll have the bailiff turn you spectators into specters, and then you won't stand a ghost of a chance with me. Count on it.
I love to watch your eyes when you're angry, Judge.
Oh, really? Do they flash?
No, they cough.
Call the next case. It's getting hard to breathe in here.
I'm not surprised, Your Honor, because my next case is airtight.
What has the alleged perpetrator allegedly perpetrated?
Huh, Your Honor?
What the gal do?
She's committed another math crime. What else? And she must be put away.
We cannot keep building corners with stools and dungeon traps in them. The answer to math crime is education, not detention. But present your case.
If I may say one thing at the outset, ye wise judge person.
What's that?
I didn't do it.
You didn't do what?
I didn't do anything.
If you didn't do anything, then I accuse you of being lazy.
Bailiff, if you please. Judge O'Crater, you see this?
Yes. And I must say, that is the nicest one of those I have ever seen. What is it?
It's square.
Well, you're not too cool yourself, Giant Sissy.
This woman sold me this square for $204.
$204, eh? If it were a wig, it would be a small price to pay. Knock it off, or I'll call after and get a real audience in here instead of a sound effect. What's the problem?
The problem is I ordered a diagram with more than 200 squares to use to plant a patio for my tulip garden. I agreed to pay the alleged perp $1 per square. This is what you sold me for my $204. There are only 64 squares.
Is that the agreement you made, alleged?
It is, and it is the agreement up to which I have lived. Proper English really comes dumb sometimes.
Yeah, don't it?
You say you've lived up to your end of the bargain. How say you?
Because there are 204 squares there.
Don't be ridiculous. There are 8 rows of squares by 8 columns of squares. That's 64 squares.
Oh, there are 204 squares there.
You keep saying that, and I'm getting tired of hearing it. No, I'd like to see them.
I wouldn't, because that would prove me wrong. And if I'm going to use this job as a stepping stone to high political office, I can't be seen as a bumbler and a fool.
Why not?
Because I don't want to reach high political office too fast.
If I may, your worship.
Go for it.
The grid I designed for Mr. District Attorney contains many squares. Let's count. There is the large square.
I make that to be 1.
Now there's this 7 by 7 grid. It fits here, 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 and here. There are 4 squares of this size.
Yeah, 4 more. What about a 6 by 6 grid?
I just happen to have one. There are 9 squares of this size. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And 5 by 5, 4 by 4, 3 by 3, 2 by 2.
Oh, Judge, right here. 16 5 by 5, 25 4 by 4s, 36 of these, 49 of these.
What's the total?
1 plus 4 plus 9 plus 16 plus 25 plus 36 plus 49 plus 64, the smallest square, 204 squares altogether.
But you keep using the same squares over and over again.
Not really. They're all different squares. These are called embedded squares. The smaller ones are embedded in the larger ones. Need I say more?
Unnecessary. No question about it, Mr. District Attorney. There are 204 squares there. She sold you exactly what she said she was selling you. Case dismissed.
But, Your Honor, what about my tulip garden?
Well, I suggest you cut the squares into smaller pieces and it gets so through the tulips. Ooh,
Once again, common sense and mathematics have triumphed in Mathcourt.
kept you once again watching the television instead of doing your chores, didn't I? Oh, what the heck. You can watch this episode of Dirk Niblick, but then you'll have to get on with more important things. For example, patching the screen door, carrying out the ashes, and doing your homework. As today's semi-literate story begins, we join Lieutenant Dirk Niblick of the Math Brigade as he warms up for a baseball game.
I love baseball. I like to think of it as our second national pastime. The first being mathematics, of course. But baseball is a close second. I remember when I used to toe the rubber for my college nine, the MIT Nitpickers. I also pitched for them. My senior year, we lost all 27 games, and the amazing thing is, we weren't that good. Yes, sir, there's nothing more exciting than a game of hardball on a summer's afternoon.
Or more dangerous.
Well, if it isn't my neighbor, Mr. Beasley. Come to watch me warm up?
No, I came to inquire as to how much longer you're going to be throwing that ball. I'm having some people over later, and to date, none has asked to be hit in the side of the head by a wild pitch.
I'm finished, Mr. B.
I knew you'd admit it eventually.
You might be interested to know, neighbor Beasley, that Fluff and Fold have invited me to be the manager of their Little League team today.
Not in the least.
Yes, I'll be masterminding their team to victory in their upcoming battle in an ongoing chase for the pennant.
You're a driven mathematician, Lieutenant.
Come inside my locker room and let me show you what I've done, Mr. B. I've computerized the team's stats.
Well, I'd like to, but I've got to get my sidewalk shoveled before the guests arrive.
But there hasn't been snow on your walk for weeks. We're in the midst of summer.
I know, but it's so much easier if I do that particular task now.
Nonsense. Come with me.
Oh, very well. I thought your computer was down, Lieutenant.
It was, but I had it fixed.
Oh, does your cat know?
I've put all Fluff and Fold's team statistics into my computer. It will make it easier to make decisions during the game.
You mean there are actually decisions to be made about baseball games other than should I go?
Most assuredly. A manager needs to know whether a particular left-handed hitter can hit a particular right-handed thrower. Whether or not late in the game your opponent is likely to hit and run and hit, or pull a double steal. You need to know about a pitcher's tendencies. Does he throw outside, inside? Does he throw curves or hard stuff? Can he field his position with men on base? Is he buntable, choppable, hittable? Is he...
Oh, I'm sorry, Lieutenant. Was my snoring bothering you?
Here are a couple of ducats, Mr. B. Come to the game and watch me in action.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Once again, you have whelmed me.
Okay, kids, get warmed up. Fluff and Fold, why don't you peg the old apple around?
If it's all the same to you, Skip, we'd rather play catch with a baseball.
You're a caution, Fold. Pegging the old apple around is Lieutenant Niblick's dated way of saying we should play catch.
Oh.
Yes, kids, but as a child, I cut my teeth on this game.
Why didn't you use floss like the other types?
Go warm up.
Hello, Coach Niblick. Mona McGraw, an old friend of yours truly.
How do you do, Lieutenant Niblick? I've heard so much about you.
Really? I'm flattered.
I wouldn't be if I were you.
Play ball! That's Okay, Fluff, baby, tuck her right in there, meat. No batter here can't hit a ball in the tush with a kayak paddle. That's flecked in the old stoop bone, Fluff. One more strike, meat, and this clown is cat litter.
Well, this is interesting. This next batter's history statistically tells me that, according to the statistics, he hits fly balls to left field 74% of the time. He strikes out 6% of the time and walks 10% of the time. Bunts 4% and does other things 6%.
Okay, Skipper. Okay, Splinter, get ready. This guy may hit it to you.
2 outs, team. 1 more to go. Okay, batter number 3. He hits grounders 68% of the time. Be alert, you infielders.
Well, my dear, the ball game is over. Let's go over to my place and listen to some Dexter Gordon sides.
The game isn't over, Wallace. That was just the top of the first inning. There are 8 1/2 to go.
You're a perceptive person. I'm not overly crazy about that in a date.
Gee, Coach Niblick, that computer stuff is amazing. It tells us exactly what to expect.
No, not really, Fluff. Computer, in this case, only summarizes players' history. It can't predict the future.
Well, so far it's batting 1,000 in my lead.
Get up there and knock the cover off the ball, Fold.
Okay, but without a cover, the game will be slowed to a limp.
He means get a hit, Fold.
Oh. Your shoes are untied.
Kind of you to warn me.
You know something?
I know where middle C is on the piano keyboard.
Do you know why it will take me longer to run from second to third than it did to run from first to second?
Of course. There's a short stop in between.
I think we can leave now, my dear. The game seems to be well in hand.
Don't be silly, Wally.
I was never more serious in my life. What does your computer say, Coach?
It says we're behind by 3 runs, Fold, and there are 2 outs. We need to stage a comeback. Come on, Howard. You can do it.
I can?
Of course. Get a hit. Okay, Fold, there are 2 outs, and you're up. We're 3 runs behind. A home run ties the game.
Why don't you put a little pressure on a chubby backstop, Lieutenant?
I just wanted you to be aware of the situation.
That's like telling trapped miners the canary died.
According to the statistics on the computer, you've walked a lot against this guy, so have a good eye.
All 1, all 2, all 3, all 4. Time out,
He's going to change pitchers. He has 2 he can use. And Fluff is due to bat next. I'll see what her statistics are against these 2 hurlers during other games. According to my statistics, Fluff, you do very well against Baroe. You have 6 hits and 13 at-bats. That's a batting average of about .462. You get a hit off him about half the time.
How about against Newhouser?
Not so well. Your batting average is only 200. 5 for 25.
Yeah, the son of a gun owns me. Let's see who he's going to put into pitch.
Right. He picked Newhouser. Plus, the game is on the line. The computer indicates you only hit him 20% of the time. I'm afraid I'm going to have to pinch hit for you.
What?
I'm going to put in a substitute in your place.
But I know I can get a hit.
You may be able to, but history indicates your chances aren't as good as Carpy Freeman's. Look at what your substitute has done against this hurler. Carpy is hitting this guy at a .571 clip.
You want I should pick up some lumber, Skip?
No, just get a bat, and then...
But wait, Lieutenant. I've got a gut feeling I can wrap the K-Pack out of that ball. All I need is the chance, a little support, someone to show love and confidence and concern for me, someone to let me sink or swim on my own merits, someone to let me live or die or...
Gracious.
Besides, I know of 2 fees you got last year that you didn't report to the IRS.
Give that ball a ride, Puff.
Right. Right 2.
And you certainly did, Fluff. A home run to win the game. As I said, computers can tell you about the past, but they can't tell you how much heart a certain little hitter has. Fluff, you beat the odds. I'll never forget the first computer I ever used. It was called Univac, and it was as big as a gymnasium. And it was...
What a thrilling climax to a day at the ballpark. Let's give thanks to Fluff and Fold and Dirk Niblick and his computer. And, of course, to Wallace C. Beasley, a bad baseball fan, but a good sleeper. Okay, Mr. Beasley, time to go home. Mr. Beasley.
Square One TV's roving reporter asks another mathematical question of the person on the street. Today's question, what is a rhombus?
A rhombus? 5-sided figure, I guess. No, it's 4. But 3, I don't know. A rhombus sounds like some kind of an animal.
A fish?
Some kind of fish that's in the ocean or something?
From the jungle.
It has to be something like a thing. It has to be like a shape or something.
I believe it's something to do with a frequency.
Similar to a parallelogram.
Something that a bunch of kids get together and have a little fight amongst themselves. Is that what it is?
A rhombus. No, wasn't there a rhombus cube or something?
Oh, rhombus, that's easy. A rhombus is like a square, which have all sides that are equal, which has kind of been slanted over. And this angle and that angle are equal angles. That's a rhombus. Easy.
The story you are about to see is a fib, but it's short. The names are made up, but the problems are real.
It was Thursday, 2:43 p.m., and the city sanitation workers were threatening to go on another strike. The garbage men didn't want more money this time, just better garbage. My partner is George Franklin. The boss is Joe Greco. My name is Tuesday, a mathematician. Enid Kelly, full-time bank teller and part-time birthday clown, had been arrested for embezzling money from his bank. We knew he was innocent, but were having trouble proving it. We decided to look at earlier scenes to tickle our gray matter. We asked the bank manager, who swore out the warrant, why he had singled out Emmet.
But he was the only employee who worked at each of the branches when it was robbed.
Then, with the help of Emmet's daughter, Emmy, we discovered something.
I'll be darned. Each of the weekly robberies is a multiple of 9, too. You see, Emmy, if all the digits of a number add up to a multiple of 9, it means the number itself is a multiple of 9, too.
Really?
That's right, Em. Try it out.
1 plus 2 plus 6 plus 0 is 9. 9 plus 2 plus 7 plus 0 is 18. That's 2 times 9.
Let's check that last.
We continued to play number games until I remembered.
According to the bank examiner's report, the missing money was all $100 bills. It also states they had a surplus of $10 bills.
Maybe somebody is substituting $10 bills for $100 bills and smuggling the hundreds out of the bank.
Yes, George. Maybe that's it.
We decided to talk to another suspect bank teller, Ms. Blanche Nutt.
Miss Nutt, if everything balances every night, how could Emmet have stolen money from his cash drawer?
If you ask me, he couldn't have. The manager checks the money back into the vault, and lately, even the regional manager has come around to search it.
Sure. Blanche had a pretty good alibi, but we checked further.
What's that?
The days off schedule.
Are you looking for another pattern? Do you think there might be a relationship between the days off and the theft?
Very good, Em. You're catching on. Because the money was missed early in the morning, we're working on the hypothesis that it might have been stolen the day before.
Let's compare Blanche's days off with the days the monies were missed.
There was no correlation. But then...
Okay, check my dad's days off.
Emmet's day off was Tuesday. His next day off was Friday. At the Madison Avenue branch, his day off was Saturday. Then Wednesday. And
Thursday.
it didn't look good. The evidence clearly pointed to Emmet.
Look, my daddy didn't do it. He didn't.
Emmy, it's all... only a hypothesis. Good afternoon, George. Or should I say Giorgio?
Why, my name is George, not Giorgio.
I thought you might be getting out of mathematics and into hairstyling. Lots of hairstylists are named Giorgio.
Oh, I get it. A joke, because I'm working on hairdressing. It's Martha's. I dropped it and I broke it, so now I'm trying to fix it. But it's got me stumped.
Any news from the bank?
No, but Emmy called.
Who is she?
She's pretty excited.
About?
Well, she checked her birthday party record.
And?
They didn't have any parties the day before one of the robberies at the second branch and 2 of the robberies at the fourth branch.
Aha. No parties. So he didn't wear his clown suit, right?
Right.
So he couldn't have taken the money, right?
Wrong. That was before Simon Legume started searching his employees. He could put the money in his pocket and walked out with it.
You're right, I'm wrong. George, We know Al Dente didn't pull these jobs.
Right.
So, for sake of argument, let's assume Enid is innocent. Who does that leave?
Blanche, I guess. But Pat, that nice old vaudevillian wouldn't...
I know. We're just hypothesizing.
Okay. She wasn't working at the branches when the first two embezzlements took place, so she's out on that count alone.
Not necessarily. She used to meet Enid at the bank in her clown costume, remember?
That's true. She could have been at the scene.
Maybe she swiped the money and framed Enid.
Well, how did she swipe the money?
She switched $100 bills with $10 bills and magically made them disappear. Up her sleeve or in her shoe or in hair dryer.
She could do it. With her prowess as a magician, no one would see her. Mathnet, frankly. What? Really? That's terrific news. Thank you.
What happened?
Wonderful news, Pat. There's been another bank embezzlement. $5,400.
Any idea how this one happened, Mr. Legume?
Oh, gosh, no. The bank examiners found the money missing this morning. I feel just sick about this.
Well, the robbery made one person happy.
Who's that?
Emmet Kelly.
Who?
The man you used to trust with your life, your fortune, and your sacred honor?
Before you swore out the warrant for his arrest?
Oh, gracious, yes. Do you think we should let him out now?
He's already been released, Mr. Legume. We took care of it.
Mr. Legume, I wonder if you could tell us about your ATM or automatic teller machine.
Yes, of course. Why?
Just part of our investigation.
This way. We were one of the first to have ATMs, or automatic teller machines.
How do they work?
The money is loaded in here, in these cartridges, in $10 bills. Then the cartridges are put in the ATM. And now when a customer needs some ready cash, he puts his bank card into our machine.
What does that do?
That tells our computer the number of the account. When the money is withdrawn, that amount is deducted from the customer's balance.
That's all there is to getting the money out?
Oh, not quite. Each customer has his own PIN.
PIN?
Personal Identification Number. It's a secret, known only to the customer.
Bank doesn't know?
No, it's another security check. If you lose your card and someone sticks it into our machine, he still can't get money from your account because he can't open it without your PIN.
How much money can a person get out of his account at a time?
Our bank has a limit, $600 per day.
So a customer couldn't take out $5,400 in one day?
No, I'm afraid not. Now, if you'll excuse me, my bank has just been robbed or embezzled or something, and I'm going to my office to pout.
Time passed as time will, and a week later it was Thursday, 2:43 p.m. We had gotten involved in other Mathnet business, and with Emmet out of jail, the Bank of Legume took a back burner.
That was Enid, George.
How's he doing?
He likes freedom better than jail. They've got a birthday party to do tonight.
Oh, good. That'll keep his mind off the fact that he's unemployed.
The bank won't give him his job back, but he wouldn't take anyway under the circumstances.
No, I can't blame him.
He'll get another job. Anyway, they're in the neighborhood and said they'd drop by. What are you thinking?
In case you've forgotten, today's the day the bank is due to be robbed again, if the pattern holds.
To tell you the truth, I had forgotten.
We ruled out the ATM, or automatic teller machine, right?
Right. You can only get $600 a day from it.
But what if we change our hypothesis, and instead of thinking that the money was being taken out of the bank by someone carrying it on his or her person, it was actually being taken out of the bank through the ATM or automatic teller machine?
George, that's brilliant. But wait a second. The ATM, or automatic teller machine only gives out $10 bills. Remember? Here are the latest records from the bank examiners.
Hi, Matt Nutter. It's me, the ex-con.
That's right. Be a clown. Be a clown.
Any luck in the job?
I'm afraid not. People don't trust me. Yes, they won't until the real thief is caught. I hope we're not interrupting.
No, in fact, I'm glad you're here. We were talking about the workings of the ATM, or automatic teller machine. You used to load it, right?
Yes, once a week.
It was always after business hours when you put the cartridges in the machine?
Mr. Legume and I, there were always two of us, we went to the vault, got the cartridges, and loaded them into the ATM, or automatic teller machine.
Are you still thinking of becoming a banker, Mr. Franklin?
Not really. I'm just doing some arithmetic.
This is how much is missing now? $49,950?
Yep.
Look, it's the 9 whizzer again. The number's divisible by 90. See, Dad? All the digits add up to 27, and 27 is divisible by 9.
Gee whiz. Well, you sure got that right. Didn't you, George?
Absolutely right.
That's a lot of $100 bills.
Yep.
And I see they've still got more $10 bills than they should. And the number of $10 bills matches with the number of $100 bills.
Emmy, you give me an idea.
Daddy, if we don't want to be late for the party...
Oh, yes, we better go. Thanks again for all you've done, Pat. George? What are those figures?
George is working on the theory that the money could have left the bank through the ATM, or automatic teller machine.
I see. Well, it's definitely a way the money could have left the place.
Maybe it didn't leave.
What?
Maybe the money was stolen and hidden somewhere in the bank.
Of course. And the thief is waiting for a good time to take it out after the heat has died down.
Captain, could you get a search warrant and go over the place with...
A fine-toothed comb?